Mini kelp farm.
Welcome back to another farm build video. Today we're working on a kelp farm. Now, why would you want to build a kelp farm, and what is the use of kelp? Well, one of the main uses is to be crafted into a block, which is quite nice really, as we now have the use of auto crafters. We can actually harvest this kelp and turn it into a fuel source quite easily. This will just be the kelp farm section of the build. The good part about this farm is it can be as small or as large as you like really, and you can stack it up and across and just harvest the kelp with a line of hoppers, or if you prefer a water stream and then a hopper.
Items.
For this farm we'll be stacking quite a few of these items, but basically it will need an observer, a piston and then some redstone to power it. As the kelp grows one block, the observer will see the update on the kelp block and then fire the piston to push the kelp off the block into the collection system. Then once we've had enough of these set up, we can configure the rest of the collection and auto crafting system.
Build.
Starting off, we just need an observer facing that way with a piston on the top. Then we just want to surround the bottom with some blocks and add a redstone to the top of that block, and you can check that the piston is updating when you put some redstone in the block in front. Now we have to try and get signs around this to hold in the water stream. Then in there we can put a bucket of water, which we can then grow the kelp on. And you'll actually need to go up one extra block around so that the kelp can grow up, and then after that you'll need to actually go up another block so that we can have 3 blocks of water streams. Then add a hopper and a chest for the collection system. And now we need to surround it in blocks. We're going to go up 3. And then we'll also need signs out the front of that as well. It's a bit of a mess, this farm at the moment, but it does the job. And then we just need a block to cover the top here. And pull that into your kelp, and as it grows, it will piston it out the front.
Farm stacking.
Now I was actually working on stacking it, but I couldn't actually get the observers to work next to each other. So I actually had to cordon them off and then do a pillar and then piston observer and then another pillar and then a piston observer, so that they would all fit next to each other. I think you can actually alleviate this with alternating rail if you did want to actually have them sitting right next to each other. But they still can be stacked on top of each other, and this is how they sit next to each other. So we'll just dig through there, and then we can just alternate the block layers and the observer and piston layers. And then we just add the blocks and the signs, fill it with water, and you've got your second kelp farm. And you can stack these as long as you want. The pistons do go a bit crazy as you place the water block, but once you can plant the kelp down the bottom, it stops these pistons from doing that. You just have to get the timing right with the kelp placement. And that is the kelp farm completed. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.